So next we will see conduct based ethics. Okay, so this is a broadly classified again into two, that is a teleological or consequential. That means the consequence of your action is important. Okay, consequence means it is nothing but the goal. It is focuses on end goal or consequence. So for example, your goal is to attain the independence for the India, so you don't mind what are the means that you follow. Either you can adopt the violence or you can adopt the non-violence, like Gandhiji who did satyagraha. Anything could be the mean, but only your goal is to attain the independence. Okay, in the same way, okay, if you consider a simple example, like you want to pass the exam or you want to score highest mark in the exam. Okay, so that is your goal, but in the process what happens, you may not mind about the mean. What is that? Either you can copy from the book, or you can study very hard and get the best mark. There are different ways for that. Okay, so if you don't worry about the means but only your aim is at the end, then it is called as the consequential approach or a teleological approach. And here again this is divided into three parts: utilitarianism, hedonism, egoism. We will see one by one in detail. And the next main category is deontological or non-consequential. Okay, so this will focus mainly on the mean. See, even though I am not mentioning example here, I am not writing example here, but anyway I will mention the example in the material that I am providing to you. Okay, don't worry. So what is the meaning of this non-consequential? See, the one example is attainment of independence for the India. So Gandhiji believed in this non-violence. These days it became very fashion. I've been observing so many posts criticizing Gandhiji, saying that if he had adopted the violence he would have achieved the freedom much more earlier. No, that is totally wrong. Why? Because you might have seen so many countries which attained the freedom or independence with the violence. Then after that what happened? Gun always try to control. Then the entire country went into the chaos. And you look at the India. This is very, very diverse. So some people may not like some other culture, and if the freedom is achieved through the gun culture, then always they want to enforce their thinking forcibly. There won't be any place for the consensus. Okay, that is important. That is why Gandhiji realized that, and we can achieve the complete independence. See, achieving independence itself is not the matter for India. The stability after independence is very, very important. The stability. Even though we achieved the independence through non-violence, many Western countries thought that within few years India going to disintegrate. But what happens? Still ours is one of the most dynamic democracy thriving still. Okay, very vibrantly. So that is what here means is important. Means also important. In best example is for example, you want to score best in the exam, and what are the means? You work hard, that is the good mean, but copying from the textbook is not the good mean. So here means also matters. Here it is not only about the goal or the consequence, the mean also very much important. What is the use of scoring best in the exam by copying from the textbook? It won't be any useful for you. Okay, understood? So that is why Gandhiji always say that end doesn't justify the mean. This is very, very famous quote. Okay, so here in this case, this is a deontological. Always the ethics of any person will be decided based on his means or his actions. Okay, based on irrespective of the goal or end goal. Even for example, you may think that robbing very rich people, I will rob the rich people. Okay, I will loot from the rich people and I will distribute to so many poor people. So what is the end goal here? Helping the poor people. Okay, you may think that according to this theory, what is that? Teleological or consequential, it can be justifiable. Why? Because here the end goal is noble, that is you are helping the poor people. Okay, if you don't worry about the means. But whereas according to this deontological or non-consequential theory, it doesn't justify its action. Why? Because see, you are robbing the rich people. You are not going in the proper way. You are what is the proper way? You impose more tax on the rich people. They will pay to the government, and the government will spend on the poor people. Okay. See, if you encourage such a type of antisocial activities like robbing the rich people and distributing, then this today they may rob, but next day they may rob someone else. Okay, they will take that as advantage, and they will do all these unwanted antisocial activities. Okay, so that is what there was a famous sentence. I think again I'm deviating, just 1 minute. So there was a famous poem in the NCERT book. While you are reading the world history, okay, there was a chapter on the German Revolution and how the World War happened because of the German World War II. Okay, one also because of German, two also because of the Germany. So there was a poem like first the one fellow write like this, one poet. First they came for the socialist. So I didn't say anything. Why? Because I am not a socialist. Next they came for the Democrats. Still I didn't say anything. Why? Because I am not a Democrat. Next they came for the Jews. Still I didn't say anything because I am not a Jew. And finally they came from me, and by that time no one was there around me to support me. Understood? That is the meaning. See, you always don't think like it is not related to us. Why I said this example? Why? Because we are explaining about this robbing the rich people and distributing to the poor people. Okay, they may rob rich for the time being, and later they will extend to everyone. Okay, so here, so we will take one by one, and I am trying to summarize this. Okay, so first here this is a deontological and non-consequential. Gandhiji, and one more famous philosopher is Kant, and the law of karma also. See, whatever you do, it will come back to you. For example, if you had achieved the independence through violence, again the violence will come back to you. Okay, somehow some people will do some revolt again. But instead, if you had achieved the same thing with a non-violence, then always they sit together and they think what to do. Okay, they try to compromise. But if it is through the violence, no one listen to anyone. They always want to fight. Okay, with a gun. So that is the problem. So meaning is that deontological, and merits is conscience. Conscience, and demerit is I think that instead of discussing this, we try to focus on remaining. Okay, and first we will take the first one. When I come there, I will explain the demerit also here. So first one is a utilitarianism. What is the meaning of utilitarianism? It is a maximum benefit to maximum number of people. So if you are doing something, then it should benefit maximum number of people. Okay, the maximum benefit should go to the maximum number of people. That is, if you are doing that, then it is called as utilitarianism. If you look at the government schemes, all our government schemes are mainly based on this, and even the entire process of democracy is based on this. How the democracy is working? It is based on the majority. It take care about the majority. Okay, it take care about a majority. It is not concerned about the minority. For example, some political party in India, see, the one particular religion population is very high. So if any party is focusing, or if they can empathize with them, if they can arouse their emotions, then automatically they will get the majority votes and they will come into the power. Okay, that means here there no need to worry about the minority. Okay, so that is how it is working, the utilitarianism. Okay, and you forget about that example, and if you take any positive example, like any government scheme that you consider, for example, if you take the education loan, okay, the scheme, then it will benefit maximum number of people. Or if you take a midday meal scheme, then it will benefit a maximum number of people, or maximum number of students who are attending the government school. Okay, so like that, this is the utilitarianism. But always don't think that this concept can be applied anywhere. Okay, for example, these days so many places lynching is happening. Okay, for various reasons, let's not go into the political angle why this lynching is happening. We know actually this is for various reasons. Okay, so lynching is happening, and how lynching is happening? Mob is attacking these people who are transporting either cattle or meat. They are attacking these people, and they are taking law into their hand and lynching them. And here the mob is doing this work. Mob means it is a maximum number of people beating only one or two fellows. That means it is giving happiness to the maximum number of people, or benefit to the maximum number of people. So based on that, you cannot justify these type of actions. Okay, even according to this theory also, if you go like that, I can prove this wrong. Why? Because here, if you take like okay, it is giving happiness to the mob to kill one or two fellows, or lynching one or two fellows. Okay, then what happens? This will disturb the social order, and many people may not be coming out freely. And if everyone is not coming freely, then economy will be decreased, and the opportunities are, this mob itself will be affected finally. That means even though it is looking like at a short term they are getting some pleasure, but finally they are getting a negative only. The mob is getting some negativity here. Even according to utilitarianism also, these type of negative things, negative benefits cannot be justified here. Okay, you remember that. And see, in case of IAS, civil services exam, they will give different types of case studies, and based on the case studies and based on the situation, you can use different theories to justify your explanation according to utilitarianism or something like that. You can write. Okay, or you can mention even their names also. Okay, so here utilitarianism generally, the thinkers, famous thinker related to that is Jeremy Bentham and Stuart Mill. Okay, what is the meaning? Maximum benefit to maximum number of people. Okay, what is the merit? Utilitarianism, it is a democratic. Okay, democratic means majority people will be happy in this, but demerit is minority will suffer. Okay, minority suffer in this. Why? Because it is not taking care about the minority section here, because it is maximum number to the maximum number, maximum benefit to the maximum number. And the next one is hedonism. And hedonism, what is the meanings of hedonism? And before going to hedonism, I would like to tell one more thing here. Sometimes you may confuse with the altruism. Okay, altruism. So don't get confused between the utilitarianism and altruism. Okay, altruism is one step above the utilitarianism. Okay, what is this? So according to this, you should put other people's happiness other people's happiness, you know, before your own happiness. That means even though if you are suffering, you need to think about only other people, okay, without worrying about yourself. If you are only thinking about other people, then it is called as a altruism, okay. So that means it is extreme. I told you golden mean, okay. Extreme happiness or extreme sadness. Extreme sadness, when you come, when it will come, if you feel very shy, or if you are taking the pain without saying anything to the others, then you will feel this one, altruism, okay. Put other people's happiness before your happiness, okay. Okay, this is altruism. So you please note down, remember this difference and hedonism here. So in hedonism, it is a maximize your happiness. So it is based on the concept of maximize your, okay, own pleasure or happiness. Okay. So according to this philosophy, they say that the only pleasure in the life is, or the only truth in the life is, maximize your pleasure, okay. Or pleasure is the only truth of the life. That is what they say. Whatever you are doing in this life, everything is to maximize your pleasure. Why you are working? To earn some money, to buy some goods, okay. That means you are maximizing your pleasure, your happiness. You are always trying to maximize, okay. So pleasure is a truth of the life. Truth of the life. So who are the thinkers? Epicurus and Charvaka. And I would like to talk about this Charvaka. This is an Indian school of philosophy. Even before actually this is during the Buddhism, okay. And then Epicurus. So Epicurus say that, why do you want to take the pain, okay, in the life? You get rid of your pain. What is that? The absence of any pain is nothing but a maximum pleasure or happiness. You don't take any pain, okay. You always maximize your pain. Actually, if you had listen to this Osho preaching, he also advocate the same thing, like maximize your pleasure, okay. So don't restrict yourself with the social boundaries. He always say like that. But see, you may come across so many philosophers, you may come across so many babas or preachers. Only thing is, you listen to everyone, but don't simply jump into on that, or either don't reject totally or accept everything, in a fully manner. You always pick up, okay. You always try to pick important points that suits to your lifestyle, okay. See, some people say that what is there in the life, ultimately only you need to get the nirvana, that is enlightenment, okay. They may say that every family, all these relations are not proper, or they may say anything, okay. So if you literally take those, then you need to leave your children or family or whatever you have, and you should go to the Himalayas. But that is not possible, okay. So what is you need to take there? The thing you need to take from that philosophy is, nothing is permanent in this world. So don't get attached that much to the materialism. That means don't think that you will get the happiness only by acquiring very luxurious goods. That is what you need to cherry pick from that philosophy, okay. You should not take everything literally, then you cannot live, okay. Because we have some duties also, fulfilling your duty also ethical thing, okay. I already talked about that. So pleasure is the truth of the life. So for that you can do anything. That is what it is advocating, okay. So here, yeah, I was talking about Charvaka, okay. Charvaka is a ancient philosophical school in India during the times of this Buddhism. So they are also called as the Lokayata. Okay, that means the Sanskrit meaning is naturalist. Okay, so it is called as a opposite to the orthodoxical thinking. Okay, they are they rejected the Vedas, and they also rejected the Brahmanical practices. Okay, why? Because these Vedas and Puranas, everything in those days have written to favor some of the people. They highly publicized, they highly advocated the very what we call that, luxurious, ceremonies. For example, marriage ceremony, how much money you spend? You think yourself, how much money you spend in a marriage. So many people, I know many of these, still I am not married, but I know many of my friends, to get married, they are taking loans in the bank. You don't believe that. And what is the basic, philosophy of, what is that? Sikhism. Sikhism fed up with these, very costly rituals, religious rituals. Sikhism, actually in the Hinduism, because of this Brahmanical practices, the religious rituals become very, very costly, very, very costly. Okay, if you want to get married, it will cost you like anything, and they introduce all type of so many procedures. Okay, so everything is very, very costly, and to actually the some fellows oppose this, who formed the basis for this Sikhism, and the basic mantra for Sikhism is very, very simple marriage. That is how they propose the simple life and simple marriage. That is the basic one for the Sikhism. But now what happened, they are most they are spending a lot of money these days actually in return, and they adopted much more consumerism. Why? Because after they started going to foreign countries, especially to Canada and all these places, more and more people started showing up there. I mean, it's not my stereotyping, that I'm just bringing that point, like Sikhism is mainly based on opposing the very costly religious rituals. Okay, that is what here. So what we are saying, Charvakas, they were very skeptical about these Vedas. They don't believe Vedas, and they are opposed to the Brahmanical practices. Okay, then they started heterodox thinking. Okay, then they advocated this materialism. Nothing is there in this world, only thing is you want to maximize your happiness. So they supported the consumerism. Why? Because it will give more happiness. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Okay, maximize own pleasure. Pleasure means happiness. You do the things which give happiness to you. And what is the advantage of this? I mean, merits of this? Okay, so focuses on maximum happiness, and it promote the consumerism. It promotes the consumerism. Okay, but what are the disadvantages? It will give short-term consumerism. I mean, for the sake of short-term happiness, people addicted to many things, like alcohol. See, why people are drinking alcohol? It will give some kick to the brain. That means it is giving pleasure, short-term pleasure. Short-term pleasure through drugs. So it will give short-term pleasure, but in the long term your health will be spoiled. Okay, and then too much of consumerism will exploit the natural resources, exploit nature. Okay, what is the meaning of consumerism? Buying everything. And if you are buying more and more cars, where they are coming from earth only. You need to extract more and more iron, and you prepare the steel. In the process you need electricity. For that, you utilize the coal. That means you are exploiting more and more natural resources, and at the end you will get you will damage the mother earth. Okay. And then egoism. Next one is the egoism. So egoism also advocates more or less the same, but it will say maximize your own selfish motives. Okay. So here maximize self-interest. Self-interest is different from the own happiness. Happiness is to get the pleasure at that moment, or even in for the future also. But interest is to secure that forever, or you want everything for your own, or whoever belongs to you, or whomever you think belongs to you. Okay. For example, here, what is the need of corruption? Doing corruption? Why we are amassing so much of money? That is to safeguard your children's life. That is a self-interest. Okay. Selfishness. That is what egoism deals with that. So they advocate in the society nothing is there but only your self-interest. And why don't you make it a maximize? Why don't you maximize it? For example, if you take any industrialist, what happens? They start a company to maximize their profit. Okay, even for example, I myself can come under this category. Why I am teaching, why I am selling these videos? I want to, get some profit. I am trying to maximize this. Okay, so here the meaning is maximize self-interest, and here what is happening in the industries? So they start the companies to maximize their interest, not for charity. Okay. So in the process, what happens? They also help others. For example, if you take big companies like Tata's or Reliance, so they are earning the money, but at the same time they are providing a lot of employment also. Okay. They provide employment to others also. Okay. But what happened? What is the demerit? If they have more and more self-interest, then they don't want to give much salary. Okay, then labor will be exploited. Labor exploitation will happen here. Okay, labor exploitation happen. And one more thing is if everyone wants to maximize their self-interest, then it will lead to the prisoner's dilemma. Prisoner's dilemma. So what is the meaning of this? Either you just Google it. It is very big concept. Okay. So there are two friends, A and B, and they want to get truth from this A and B. Then how they use the different strategies. Okay, and how A and B react to the different strategies. Okay, they want to. Each one try to become a selfish to get out of the jail. Okay, how they try to implicate other. So that is like a prisoner's dilemma. If you become more and more self-interest, if you have more and more self-interest, then it may become that. Okay. So this is how we can finally summarize this. Okay. See, no need to spend much time on this. The entire theories of ethics you can watch with 2 speed. Why? Because we are already providing the material also. Okay, you fatafat watch it. No need to spend. But you remember the important points. Okay, you remember these thinkers. No need to remember that much. But Gandhiji you remember. Okay, Gandhiji is very, very important. And whatever I said about Gandhiji, you remember. Gandhiji always say that ends doesn't justify the means. Okay, so he belongs to the consequential, non-consequential ethical theory. Okay, Gandhiji is very, very important, and especially for UPSC, Gandhiji is like a god, so they can ask anything. And even Charvaka also you can remember, and Hobbes also important. Okay, Germany and Bentham also important. Okay, and actually Stuart Mill is actually a industrialist during the industrialization, okay, in the European countries. Okay, so you remember this meaning, and as well and merits and demerits, okay, with some examples. That is more than enough for this.